I want to bring in now Dan Crenshaw, Republican congressman from Texas and a retired Navy SEAL. Congressman Crenshaw, when we were going to talk this morning on the air, none of this had happened. And if people are just tuning in, two places have had explosions hit outside the Kabul airport, one at that Abbey Gates area, the other at a nearby hotel where sometimes people will wait to get in, the Barron Hotel. And in that time, we have learned of 3 Marines who were wounded. Jennifer Griffin reported one of them seriously. What can you tell us at this hour to really give the American people a sense of what's coming?
Well, I don't know what's coming. I know what I want to be coming. What I want is for Biden to acknowledge that this plan has failed and that you need a new plan, that you need to reset the chessboard, that you need to gain some superiority over the enemy. You know, there's this myth out there that if we just left, we'd be ending a war, but that was never true. That was always a myth. The war is clearly not ended. So you can't unilaterally end a war. It takes 2 to tango. And these people will never stop fighting us. Their capabilities are obviously still intact. And I'm not sure if this attack is a result of the fact that when the Taliban came through, they let 5,000 prisoners out, many of which were ISIS. In any case, the intelligence community saw this coming. And now they assume that whether it's Al-Qaeda or ISIS, they'll be able to externalize these attacks, meaning do it on the homeland sooner than later. This is what we've allowed to happen, and we need to fix it. We need to go on offense. That's what I want to see happen. I'm not sure Biden has the stomach for it. I think they're still pretending like this could be a success, like this plan could be salvaged, but that's impossible at this point. Because salvaging the plan would also include, presumably, getting American citizens out and getting our allies out. And that's going to take some time.
Right.
And we need to tell everybody there, we're going to take as much time as we need. I think we should retake more airfields throughout the country. You can't expect everybody to be going to this hellhole that is Kabul airport right now. You need to retake Bagram and probably retake other airports as well. That will take troops on the ground. It will take a complete reassessment of our strategy. But the military can do it. We just need the will politically to do it.
See, now those are the words, right? The military can do this. It sounds huge with bloodthirsty terrorists from different groups massing now. With the Taliban, who says it's in control of most of the country, I don't know if other terrorists are going to try to challenge that. We've learned this hour from our reporters that these are not necessarily groups that want the same thing other than to kill us. They might want to rule something. I mean, we don't know what it looks like among these groups, but what we do know is the enemy of the enemy is your friend, I guess, when you're trying to kill Americans and those who help them. So when you talk about retaking things, what does that look like militarily? You say the military can do it. We just drop what kind of numbers in there?
Yeah, I mean, it would look exactly the same as what we did in Kabul. Remember, we lost Kabul completely, and then we retook it. It's not any different than that. It's not any different than what we've been doing for decades. This is what we trained for. And you know what? From a tactical perspective, I like to hear that the enemy is amassing. I like to hear that they're finally out in the open and not hiding among the population, which, by the way, is what's made these wars so difficult over time. I encourage American people to accept the reality of the situation. We've been wishing for a different situation, wishing for a different reality for a very long time, and that got us into this mess. We have to acknowledge that there are people out there that want to kill us, that wake up every single day, and if they have any space whatsoever, any room, any time whatsoever, they're planning an attack on the homeland. That's the way it is. I wish it were different. It's not different. And we have to acknowledge that fact. Biden has refused to acknowledge that fact. Every president since Bush has had to deal with this really difficult decision. Obama, Trump, but Biden's the only one who really followed through with the stupidest possible option. And now we're paying in blood for it. There's still ways to reverse course on this. There's still ways to uphold our dignity, to save our people on the ground. These people deserve to be saved, whether they're citizens or whether they're interpreters that I knew, that I worked with, who have done more for this country than most citizens of this country. We need to help them. And we're not going to leave until the job is done. That has to be the first task order to the military. We're telling the Taliban we won't leave until the job is done.
It has been said today, and I reported it just moments ago as my team was learning. So we knew that this was a coordinated attack. Jen Griffin had good detail, as much as we could get on that. But apparently, Congress members have to get to a local, secure location in order to be grouped together to be brought up to speed on all of this. What would Congress do? What would the House do, Congressman, if all of you could do something at this point?
Well, it's a great question. Look, we had a private meeting with the entire House of Representatives and Secretary of Defense, Secretary of State, General Milley, the Director of National Intelligence, everyone. And it was amazing. Usually in these things, you see a lot of different discourse from Democrats and Republicans. But there was only one question being asked over and over again by Democrats and Republicans. Why can't we extend the August 31st deadline? Why can't we do that? Now, unfortunately, what Pelosi actually had us vote on when she brought us back from recess had nothing to do with Afghanistan. It was everything to do with spending, overspending on the Green New Deal wish lists, unfortunately. We need, if we're going to go back in session, we need the Congress to say, look, we're telling you we want to extend the deadline. We're telling you, we're giving you the authority to go back in and get our people out for as long as it takes. That's what we want. And but look, it's also true that they don't need any permission from Congress to do this. I think what we really need is public pressure on Biden for this single mission: get our people out, extend the deadline for as long as we need it.
Representative Crenshaw, appreciate you being with me as we learn more detail about what has unfolded and continues to unfold. As far as we know, this is an ongoing situation. At least that's what's been confirmed, but we don't have the details of what could be happening on the ground at this moment, not in real time. But we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.